Rebecca of Pocketful of Poseys. Today's project is the beginning of my Tudor project, and it is a smock. I made this using a pattern by Margo Anderson, and I had a good time making it, although I did make quite a few mistakes, which you shall see. So without further ado, let's get to it. Here we go. Time to get started. I'm using the Tudor Ladies Wardrobe by Margo Anderson. This pattern has tons of information and really good instructions. I found the pattern pieces I needed for the smock. Alright, so I got my pattern cut out and then realized that I had not washed my fabric. So I am doing that now, and so as soon as that comes out of the dryer, I will get the smock cut out. I'm using some handkerchief weight linen that I bought that I have had for a little while now, and it's kind of a cream color. It's not white. So I mean, I know that linens generally were white back then. However, I am doing more of a common woman costume, so I think having not bright white linen might be fine for my kirtle, but it's what I have, so that's what I'm using. So it's been a while since I think the last thing I said was that I had forgotten to wash my fabric, which I did. And so I washed it and I dried it and started getting my pattern cut out, and then Lucius is coming in and then my back went out. Thor escaped. Part of our fence has been down since Hurricane Ida, and we haven't been able to get anybody to come out and cut up a tree that needs to be cut up before we can replace the fence. So we just had kind of a temporary barrier set up to keep the dogs in, and Thor discovered he can get around that barrier, so he's been escaping into the neighbor's yard. And a couple days ago, he went in between the two fences, our fence and their fence, and then managed to get himself stuck, because once he got in there, he didn't have enough room to turn around and go back the way he came, and then there were like bushes and stuff in his way to come back the other way. So I had to like go in there and pull him out and then carry him into the yard practically, and it was, so yeah, I think oh Hercules. Buddy, that hurt me. All of the animals are hurting me, I guess. Anyway, so I think that's what happened. I think that I just kind of pulled something. I have sciatica, so my back goes out periodically, but I think I just pulled something when I was trying to pull Thor out from between the fences. So yeah, so my back's been out, so it kind of hurts to sit. I mean, it really hurts to do everything. So, but I'm feeling a little bit better, so I'm going to finish getting my pattern cut out, and then we'll be on our way. This isn't a super difficult or complicated pattern, so I don't think it's going to take a long time to put it together. I'm going to do all of the seams by not by hand, by machine, and then I'm planning on felling them by hand, so because that's something I can just do in front of the TV. So that's my plan. Off we go. I got all my pieces cut out. For the sleeves, I had the idea to just use the full width of the fabric. The poofier the better, right? In hindsight, not the best idea. I drew threads to get a straight line to cut. all cut out. I hope I have a piece with enough width left to make a coif. We'll see. For the neckline facing, the outside edge is ironed up 1/4 inch. Next, the neckline facing is pinned right sides together to the neckline. After sewing, I clipped and trimmed the seam allowance. Then the facing is turned to the inside and ironed. To attach the facing on the inside, I used a hem stitch. My next step was pinning and sewing the side gores to the main body sides. Lucius was very helpful as I sewed the side gores on. I went ahead and zigzagged the raw edges. Alright, I have gotten my side seams sewn, or sewn the gores onto the side seams. And I know I said before that I was going to fell the seams by hand. Well, when I kind of did a quick little try on with it just pinned together, it seemed a little snug, so I decided to do a 1/4 inch seam allowance to give myself a little bit more room. And so I didn't really have enough to turn over and fell, so I just zigzagged it. The next step is to attach the sleeve gussets to the sleeves and then attach the sleeves to the body. And so that is next. I'm not sure why sleeve gussets confound me, but they do every time. Perhaps I was just distracted by all the dog love from Thor and Loki. I put my gussets in wrong. I seem to do it every time I put gussets in. Oh well. So this is what I'm thinking. So basically this folded part here is supposed to be where this open part is. So I just reverse them. And I already sewed up one sleeve seam. So what I'm thinking is, should I be lazy and sew up this open part, zigzag it, and cut this side open? Wait, is that right? No, that would still be wrong, right? I have to think. I started the long process of unpicking the stitches, but the thin linen wanted to tear constantly, so I just cut the seams. It only makes the gussets a little tiny bit smaller, a 1/4 inch, and it won't make any difference to the sleeve because I cut them extra wide anyway. I could have cut new gussets as well, but I didn't. I repinned and sewed the gussets, making extra sure it was correct. Setting the sleeves in was next on the agenda. I had previously run gathering stitches on the tops of the sleeves, and I pulled those threads to gather the sleeves into the smock armholes. Okay, I've gotten one sleeve in so far, and for a brief moment, I thought I had put it in backwards or upside down or inside out or something. I thought it was totally wrong for a second, and I was about to, throw this across the room. But it wasn't. It was correct. And so now, hey boys! And so now I'm going to put the other sleeve in and then do up the side seams. Then, guys, what you need? So, yeah, side seams are next. Well, other sleeve and then side seams, and then I'm going to go through all of the seams with zigzag and then do running stitches on the bottom of the sleeve to gather it down and put the cuff on. And then hem. All right. It was at this point that my brain couldn't sleeve anymore, so Hercules and I took a little break. Back to it, the second sleeve was sewn in and I sewed up the side seams. My next step was gathering the bottom of the sleeves and attaching the cuffs. I forgot to add interfacing to the cuffs, but they're fine. I sewed the cuff facings to the cuffs, trimmed and clipped the corners. Next, I fit the sleeve into the cuff. I sewed the cuff on by hand with a back stitch. When I turned the cuff over the sleeve bottom, I realized that I sewed the cuff on incorrectly. The cuff facing should have folded to the inside, not the outside as I did it, but I didn't really care enough to fix it. I used whip stitches to attach the cuff facing. I also sewed a hook and eye on each cuff. All right, we are in the home stretch. I'm almost done with the smock. I have one more cuff to put on and then hem, and then it's done. So, yay! For the hem, I folded and ironed a 1/2 inch up twice. I hemmed it by hand. Then I tried it on and the shoulders were falling off. This is totally my fault for not doing a better fit check or a mock-up. I just sewed a couple of pleats into the back neckline at the corners. It's not the most elegant solution, but it's serviceable for now. Overall, I really like this smock. The fit is pretty good. It's not too big in the bust, but the shoulder is too wide. It's difficult because I want the neckline to be low, but the shoulders are too wide in my size. Perhaps cutting the neckline at my size length, but cutting the width at the neck smaller size would work. Not sure. Also, the extra width I added to the sleeves is too much. I mean, they are kind of glorious, but would definitely get in the way of working if they're not stuffed into a sleeve. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you spending your time with me. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, subscribe if you haven't, and if you'd like to be notified whenever I upload, you can hit that little bell icon. If you'd like to support the channel further, I do have a Ko-fi account, and that is linked down below. Again, thank you so much, and I will see you on our next sewing adventure. Bye!